Hello, my name is Modram and today I'm going to show you some games I personally have been looking forward to for March 2023. Now, before we move on to the actual titles, as always, remember to never pre-order, especially with the increasing prices, insane number of bugs and extreme performance issues of many games released in the past years and weeks. Also remember to sub, like and comment for some juicy content. First, let's start with Gone Rogue, an isometric stealth RPG where you slip into the role of a thief. This game's story plays out in an alternate Europe of the mid-20th century and lets you explore 15 locations full of stories, secrets and a lot of precious loot. Preparing for your robberies is key. Talk to informants, choose the best tools for the job and unlock perks and specializations to customize your runs. As far as game mechanics go, we are looking at fairly fleshed out systems. Light, sound, visibility and the behavior of enemies all play a major role in how you tackle your tasks. This single player title releases on the 1st of March 2023. The next game is Wulong Fallen Dynasty. This game is set in the later Han Dynasty in China, spiced up with some dark fantasy and demons. The land is overcome by chaos, destruction and war, leading to the impending collapse of the kingdom. You play as a nameless militia soldier battling against deadly creatures and humanoid enemies. However, this game is suffering from bad optimization and performance issues on PC. The other versions of this game are fine. The actual gameplay is buttery smooth and rewarding with a deflect system at the core of its combat, similar to the parry system in Sekiro, and rewards you with the happy stuff once you manage to master it. This single player game is set to release on the 3rd of March 2023 and will be available on Game Pass. Fatal Frame Project Zero Mask of the Lunar Eclipse releases just a few days later and is a remake of the 4th installment of the Fatal Frame series. This game is a slower action-adventure horror game with puzzle elements. As far as the story goes, a group of children mysteriously disappeared during a festival on the Rogetsu Island, all of which were later found without their memories. This group of teenagers now came back with an old camera to the island to uncover the secret around them. The camera, however, has a special ability allowing the girls to capture and seal away unthinkable horrors, ghosts and other demonic beings. Mask of the Lunar Eclipse is scheduled for release on the 9th of March 2023 as a single player title. Next is Bleak Faith Forsaken, a Souls-like developed by Archangel Studios. This game is set in a post-apocalyptic setting and lets you explore the last remnants of a civilization in a vast, unforgiving and interconnected world. You are given the amazing ability to run, climb, leap, swim and dive into the unknown. Combat is dangerous, boss fights epic and a journey is filled with pain and suffering. Choose a class and progress however you like, but beware, this game does not let you respec everything. Bleak Faith is set to release on the 10th of March 2023 as a single player title. A large gap between releases allows for some breathing room to enjoy a bonus game in between. Now Diablo 4, a massive ARPG, starts its early access beta on the 17th of March and concludes on the 20th. The progress carries over to the next weekend, where everyone can enjoy the game in an open beta event from the 24th to the 27th of March. But be warned, all beta characters will be deleted once the game finally launches in June. You can find the exact time and details on the official homepage, linked down below. The end of the month is packed, starting with Resident Evil 4 Remake, a survival horror shooter with puzzles and secrets to solve. Capcom has been on fire with their games and this one is shaping up to be another banger. All their PC releases have been excellent with great controls and performance. They did an amazing job with Resident Evil 2 and Village, however Resident Evil 3 was a bit on the short side with cut content holding it back. This game also leans more into the action side of things, but given its status as one of the best Resident Evil parts, I am cautiously optimistic. It's set to release on the 24th of March 2023 as a single player title. Atelier Ryza 3 releases on the same day, providing us with an open world exploration RPG. This game is the 3rd installment of the Ryza series and aims to finish the story. The main features of the past two games will be expanded by additional key abilities that can be used in exploration, synthesis and combat. You can form a party out of 11 playable characters, synthesize even more powerful items, and explore a vast open field of seamlessly interconnected biomes with no loading times. Be warned, this game's story is not a standalone, but I can safely recommend the first two installments for you to play and enjoy. As already mentioned, this title is set to release on the 24th of March 2023 as a single player title. Next up is Terra Nil, an intricate environmental strategy game about transforming a barren wasteland into a thriving, balanced balanced ecosystem. The landscapes are procedurally generated to provide you with a new experience every single playthrough, since the game is not aiming at infinite growth, but rather balancing and nurturing what you are presented with. You too can reach tranquility with hand-painted environments and meditative music. Terra Nil is set to release on the 28th of March 2023 as a single-player title. Now, March is coming to an end with 3 titles, the first one being Ravenbound, an action roguelite by Systemic Reaction. In this game you play as a vessel of the Raven and venture into the world to free imprisoned gods. Combat leans into the action department with fast-paced attacks, dodges and abilities, but still retains some Souls-like features like punishing death. Progression is done through a card system. You find those as rewards throughout the vast open world and need mana to use them. Mana is something you get through level ups. Now, death is also permanent, but the same is true for upgrades, so that's where the roguelite features come in. You start as a new vessel each time you die, but retain the power you obtained through your journey. This game is set to release on the 30th of March 2023 as a single player title. The next game for this day is Tainted Grail: The Fall of Avalon, a dark fantasy first-person RPG developed by Questline. The story is set after the death of King Arthur. The world of Avalon was plunged into darkness, with the Red Death and weirdness spreading throughout the kingdom. This game will feature a true open world experience with quests, settlements, secrets, dungeons, ruins and more scattered throughout the interconnected map. I personally am heavily reminded of Gothic, Risen and Morrowind, given the rough looking world, slower combat and gritty feel to everything. And the last game for the 30th of March is Dredge, a single player eldritch fishing adventure. You control a fishing vessel and explore a collection of remote islands and their surrounding depths. You move to the Marrows, a remote archipelago, and are one curious little fella. Fishing up treasure in deep sea dissonance is what you came for, but completing quests to make a living and upgrade your equipment is also on the menu. The twist? Night and fog are dangerous and reveal what really dwells in the depths. Now this sums up my list for March 2023. I will be back with more next month, so make sure to sub, like and comment for my reviews, previews and guides. If you want to support me more, make sure to check out my Patreon, PayPal and channel membership. I set them up this week for special things, emotes and more for you to enjoy. So, see you next time and bye.